I would be too. Thank you. And this is a great idea, a radical rush. I've never actually heard of this before, and I travel to a lot of campuses, and I'm definitely going to spread the word because it is needed. I'll start off by saying I want to talk a little bit about the March on Washington that's happening the weekend of October 10th and 11th. It's over the 3-day weekend, the Columbus Day weekend. The 11th is the actual march, the 10th workshops. But I want to start off by making a few broader global comments about kind of, if you will, building a new left in a new era, which is what we're all commonly involved in that project, whatever group you're from, whatever your political tendency or particular ideology. You wouldn't be here if you didn't think it was necessary to build a left of some sort. And I think that for all of us here, for most of us here, myself as well as the large majority of people who are from a newer generation, are actually too young to have lived through a period of liberalism in power. In fact, nobody in this room, not even you, Donna, is old enough to have lived through liberalism in power in a period of economic collapse. And that obviously raises some pretty daunting questions, not only for us personally, but for us politically. And and in keeping with the sort of bizarreness of this time, I've had a number of things happen, not the least of which is having the dumb luck to come out with a book on sexuality and socialism at the very moment when the word socialism is everywhere and there's an LGBT movement exploding. So I am the luckiest motherfucker in the world. But on the left, in that little realm. But I got a call. I've been an activist for like 25 years since I'm a teenager, and I always say to people, I'm from the generation that nobody bothered to name. I'm in my early 40s, and I won't shock you to know that I don't usually hear from Business Week, but I did hear from a journalist at Business Week a few months ago who called me up with all of this buzz. Newsweek had declared, we are all socialists now, and wanted to know, well, what do the socialists think of this and Obama? And I said, well, to be frank, we have not seen Obama at the meetings. And then this poll comes out from Rasmussen, which is not a radical polling outfit. It is not financed by, the IWW, the ISO or something. And it's got, sort of more prestigious credentials in the corporate world. And it comes out in April showing that a slim majority, actually, of Americans support capitalism over socialism, and that among people who are under 30, which is the majority of people in this room, 30%, 33% actually, said that they prefer socialism over capitalism. And of course, I'm assuming all of you are running out to see Michael Moore's new movie next week, Capitalism, a Love Story. And it couldn't be coming out at a better time. To be honest, when the poll came out, the most shocking thing to me was that they even asked the question. I can't remember at any point in my life when anybody would ask such a question. And it really shows how discredited the system is, that the free market is really exposed as a shell game for the rich and powerful. The concepts like big government, which were basically used as epithets throughout most of my adult life, are no longer the slurs that they once were. It's used to be equated, of course, with waste and inefficiency, and now, of course, it is largely seen by the overwhelming majority of Americans who would like to see genuine universal health care, which is to say single payer or French-style health care. That would mean we want more government. We want more government goodies, because that's really the only outfit capable of providing that sort of service in a crisis of that scale. And of course, the rapidity with which this system, the economic system, has gone into collapse, I think, is really a game changer politically for all of us. And the fact, of course, that it's happening under the helm of the first African American president, who came in making enormous promises to all of us, is of great significance. It gives, what's happening in this system, I think about all the time. I'm a voracious reader, and I think it gives new meaning to the very poetic concept that Marx put to pen on in the Communist Manifesto, when he said, all that is solid melts into air, all that was holy is profane. And I've never said that in front of the boss before. Barbara Ehrenreich, who wrote Nickel and Dime, sort of coined this new term that I sort of like, and it's fitting. She refers to the nouveau poor, which would be the sort of couch surfers. And many of you are familiar with this concept and this reality, because you live this reality. This sort of an army of highly educated, low-wage itinerant workers, of which many of you are, and many of you are living that sort of plan B.